I'm not a demon. When pushed, I'm Satan himself. I'm John Renton with my review of WWE Raw from Portland, Oregon, the Moda Center, where the Blazers go and play and dunk those basketball, and they get loud and I don't have the end to this song. Okay, yeah, you're getting this review a little bit later than usual because there was yet another Regal mystery movie. It was Origin by Ava DuVernay. If you haven't seen it, please go watch it. Please go watch it. It's really good. It's going to be out in a wider release very soon. Very, very good. Very sad, nevertheless. There's also going to be another Regal mystery movie I'm going to go watch, hopefully, on the 22nd. So, yeah, guys, you're going to get some late Raw reviews. You're going to get some weeks where you don't get Raw reviews at all. This particular show did have a few highlights, but the weekly reviews are basically going to be Raw and Dynamite when I can. Everything else is a fucking wash. I'm somewhat excited for the Rumble. Like, it's cool that WWE is going to be having Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. I don't know where the hell Perth is. Anybody from Australia, if you haven't even watched this, where the fuck is Perth in relation to Melbourne or Sydney? Like, is it a populated area? Is it in the middle of butt-fuck nowhere? I'm genuinely curious. And they had the backlash that's taking place in France. Where in France? I don't know. And then also, you know, the Bash in Berlin, I think it's taking place sometime in August. So it's great that they're going to these big arenas. Speaking of big arenas, 20,500 seat capacity for the Moda Center, and they had 10 to 11,000 people. They used quite a bit of the arena. I do find it funny they went to Portland in winter, and they did manage to avoid, I guess, a lot of real big issues with their, you know, live tour because they were in Vancouver for SmackDown. They were in Spokane, I believe, for a live show, and then they were in Wenatchee. I'm going to give you an idea just for geographically how that is. Going from Vancouver to Spokane is, like, from my particular location to Spokane without snow, with just a typical drive, like, say, during the summer. That's every bit of about 6 hours, because I'm basically on one side of the state. That's all the way on the other side of the state. Wenatchee is about 3 hours from me in the fucking mountains, and they were in about a 5,000-seat arena. Nevertheless, I don't know why the fuck they decided to tour here during the winter. That being said, if you were dealing with winter, stay safe. We're going to be getting blasted with winter. We're getting blasted with wind currently. So hopefully everything holds up. Enough about the weather. Cody is in the back. And then Slam, Drew is in the ring. No sword, no kilt, nothing. That he's holding himself responsible for all the shit that happened. He had Seth won. He folded Seth up wrong, and he couldn't take it. Might have misinterpreted that just because of my particular mindset. Let's move on. But actually, it's Priest's fault. Priest, you screwed me and you screwed yourself. Congratulations. You played yourself is basically what he just said. And then he talks about how maybe he should leave WWE, like he was saying. He'd come back after 9 years and get a hero's welcome. And then here's Punk. And he's all smiles and everything, but a little bit more snide. I know that there are people that have not enjoyed what Punk has been doing, coming back and being a little more PG, a little more happy and everything. I genuinely think he's happy to be back in a professionally run wrestling company, even though he did a lot of great things in AEW. Let's be honest. It was a pipe bomb, ironically, that was ready to explode. It really was. We are in Piper country, and if you have something to say it to my face, and then Alex Riley shows up. God, if you saw what Alex Riley looked like at an NWA pay-per-view, it was either last year or sometime in 2022. Oh, boy. I really hope he gets some help because he did not look good. Drew then said, you know, we've got a bet going on how long you'll stick around, and that the longer you stick around, the more money you cost this company. I don't think Drew's getting paid in peanuts, by the way. And he'll kick all the obstacles down that, you know, he had a really, really rough, you know, first run. He was going through a lot of personal demons. That Punk was a leader, and he should have been a real leader. And then Punk said, I never said I was a leader. I led by example. And that, oh, you're straight edge. You don't have demons. You are a demon. Speak as somebody that is drug-free and alcohol-free, living a straight edge lifestyle as best as I can. Yeah, we all have demons. We all have personal demons. We all have whatever. As far as vices, no. And I would encourage people to live more of a clean lifestyle, but you do you. More back and forth. You know, I'm a real nice guy until it's time for me not to be. I'm not a demon. When pushed, I'm Satan himself. And when the going gets, when the going gets tough, Punk gets going. Drew, you were gone from the company also. You were fired and you came back a few years later. And only I can stop myself from winning the Rumble, Punk says. And they didn't have the crowd at first. The crowd was kind of just sitting like, okay, I can tell that they probably, there's elements of realism here is what they're probably thinking, but it was, parts of it were breezy. This went a little bit long though. This was a better exchange than you might get in a long talking segment. More on that in a little bit. But it went a little bit long. I think they could have got a couple minutes. Backstage with Ciampa and Gargano. They're going to the ring. You can definitely tell Kevin Dunn has been fired because they did some tracking shots. And even though, yes, there are going to be cuts, there are going to be, things you can't just have a lingering shot. You need to use the production truck and the cameras and get every shot you can. You don't need to have Kevin Dunn's ADHD, bullshit. And not that ADHD is bullshit, but Kevin Dunn makes it bullshit. So they want the tag belts, and Truth got Balor to accept this match because of a backstage thing. Ciampa, along with Gargano in his corner, that is, took on Balor with Priest. The problem is it's impossible for me to care about this because Ciampa, even though he is a world beater of an athlete, he'll do stuff, he'll get hurt, and yeah, he'll come back from it. But the man, he's like, 34, 35, and he basically has just come back from so many injuries that he's got maybe a couple years left. I know that people are excited for DIY to be reunited. Here's the thing. They were reunited, and then they threatened to split up, and then they didn't split up, and then they did split up. And then Ciampa was the face, and Gargano was the heel, and it got really bad. It got really bad, and this just feels like going back to the same thing. Basically, there was an outside-in deal, kind of like almost like the finish of WrestleMania 5, where Rude pinned Warrior. We get a variation of that, 1, 2, 3. Okay, Ciampa wins. I mean, that's not surprising. Maybe they could have this match on a Raw. I don't think you have this match on the pre-show or the kickoff of, the Rumble, but whatever. Good job, Jackie. You remembered who Becky was. Becky says she lost, but her face wasn't broken, that she is bound and determined to win the Rumble. It's going to be interesting to see if Becky actually wins the Rumble. I don't think she will, but it's going to be interesting. The Jackie Redmond Show, where we just let the cameras roll and hope that we can find some footage to use. I'm sure she's nice, but just they got to either give her better cues or something because they make her look lost on camera. Katana and Caden, are training backstage, picking each other up like bowling balls, and then you have Piper Niven and Chelsea Green. It's the best you're going to get out of me. I'm tired. And then we have Kofi versus Kaiser. Kaiser won a revenge after what happened to Vinci, even though it wasn't Kofi's fault. I'm not saying that. They're using it as a storyline. Vinci, hopefully, just needs a little bit of rest. He tweeted that he was okay, so hopefully he is going to be totally fine. No ill will against Kofi. Tremendously safe worker. The crowd loved Kofi. Of course, Kaiser was looking to eradicate Kofi in order to implement the fight. Let's just move on from that. Because tomorrow belongs to him. The stupid spot with the feet up, they did that way too close to the ropes. They should have done it a little bit further out. We do get a double count out. There's some boos, but they get the crowd back into it because Kofi and Kaiser just keep brawling. And then we get them separated. Hey, hey. And then Kaiser throws the chair, legs first, at Kofi. I really hope he's okay because that looked really brutal. That was not Braun, I'm not finished with you, throwing the chair at him. And then that was brutal, but then they get Kaiser away, and then Kaiser having to run away, and then hi, and he manages to drop kick Kofi's head into the steps, I guess. All right, Jackie, I have tracked down Kaiser as Kaiser is coming into the shot. She wasn't looking behind her. How the hell would she have known that? How would you have known that? How would you have known that, Jackie? Do you have those powers of perception? Kaiser is furious here. A head for a head. I could say something, but I'm just not going to. Michael Cole interviews Nia Jax, who has all the personality of a corpse. Probably smells as bad, too. Rhea cannot salvage this. If they are going to give us Rhea versus Nia Jax at the Rumble, I hope they don't. I think Nia's in the Rumble. They really should give Rhea a challenger there. Like, you can have that where you maybe have 90-second intervals. You don't need to have 2 minutes, but they really should have some more championship matches. I mean, I understand them wanting to go with, smaller cards, but god damn it. Rhea cannot say, if they are going to give us Rhea versus Nia, especially in Australia, Jesus Christ. Rhea better win that in like 3 minutes. Nia has been god-awful since coming back. So we go to a package on The Rock, and then Jackie just stands there for about 10 seconds before, Jackie, you're on. You're on. The red light means that you're on. Nakamura then attacks Cody before Cody can really say much. Great, because this feud needed to be spiced up with less, nonsensical stuff. I mean, hey, an attack works, except I haven't really cared about this feud or any Cody feud since he's come back. Kane and Katana took on Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, and it was for the Women's Tag Team Championships, and oh boy, I don't know how much thought they put into this, but more would have helped. If the timing was any more off, this almost would have been the equivalent of, maybe not Hogan versus Warrior 2 Electric Boogaloo at Halloween Havoc 98, but this was pretty bad. This was like Regal and Goldberg almost. Like, Caden didn't even get or Katana, the pipsqueak, she couldn't even get the goddamn finish right. I don't care how great athletes they are. This was not good. Yeah, the champs retain. After Piper lands on Chelsea because of an inadvertent thing, where this is really bad. Really, really bad. Cody and Nakamura is now a Meryl Streep fight. Truth vignette, which sadly was probably one of the highlights of the goddamn show, even though it was stupid. But truth can make the stupid work. Mostly. We see how, that he told the doctor, one day I'm going to be in the Judgment Day. And lots of Photoshop, even Photoshopping him on, In Your House Judgment Day 98. Which should not have popped me like it did. And, all this of Dom and Nick Mysterio. No, I never met Nick. I hate that this made me laugh. I hate it. I hate that it made me laugh. But live, laugh, love. And no, we don't say that. They cut to the Judgment Day locker room. Why was the TV smoking? Genuine question. Why was the TV smoking? Dave's not here, man. No. So DIY will need CPR. It's good. It's good wording there, Balor. And yeah, they're just doing. Rhea's upset. I don't blame her. I would like Rhea to be involved in better creative than this, and better than Nia Jax, because Rhea is amazing. Rhea is not a magician. So Miz, shows up. I went to the movie, which was Origin, by the way, terrific movie. Check it out. Miz versus JD with Dominic. Truth shows up, and then we just basically get Miz pointing at Judgment Day. They boo. Points at Truth. They cheer. And he wins with the skull-crushing finale sometime later. I didn't care about the match, but the crowd is into it. Wade did have a funny line, said after the figure four spot, McDonald's eyeballs are bulging out of his massive head. At least they're acknowledging it. He does have a big head. Seth Pheasant Rollins shows up. Whoa. And talks about the Rumble and the show to WrestleMania. Who will he face? Crowd chants CM Punk. He says in his dreams. Here's Jinder. I thought this was a 1 week thing. We're really doing this. Whatever. I mean, they wanted him. He tried to make this work, but it was lightning in a bottle with the stuff with Rock last week. We've been trying to forget you until you showed up last week and the Rock put your balls in a vice. I mean, Jinder got some good lines. It's just as hard for me to care about Jinder because he's the worst WWE champion there ever was. You can argue in the comments if you want. That's my opinion. I'm not saying you're wrong if you disagree. So they end up having a brief skirmish. They're going to have a match next week. God, I can't wait. Otis took on Thibar, and every respective idiot was in the corner. Well, Tozawa was there. Maxine, I don't know what Maxine's purpose is, but it shouldn't be to wrestle. And Valhalla is dear. A moonsault won it in 5 minutes. And then we had almost 20 minutes until the next match. Jackie then says, "Hey, Jay, Happy New Year." Oh, wait, Yeet? What? It's a new Yeet year. Or the year of the new Yeet. That's easy for me to say. Here comes Bronson shows up, and I guess they're going to have a match next week. Remember when Bronson, a.k.a., Jonah, beat Okada? I know he's getting paid better here, but god damn it, I wish they'd use him better. Video package on the main event. Cody and Nakamura have a street fight where I determined 2 things. 1, I hate the constant use of weapons. 2, I can't stand Cody. And 2A, that is, Nakamura is washed. He's washed. They did table spots, nunchuck stuff. They did a miss spot to the timekeeper. There was another table, a bump into that where Nakamura hurled himself stupidly at the table. Good tactic, and got hit with the crossroads. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Yeah, so next week I'm not going to... I don't have a mystery movie to watch. So I should be able to just watch Raw normally. And then the following week, there's a mystery movie. I don't know what I'll be doing. If there comes a time, guys, when I'm not reviewing Raw weekly, don't take it personally. It's just, wrestling is just, weekly wrestling is kind of beating the passion out of me. I do it because I still love it, but I'm disenfranchised with what they're doing with wrestling currently. Nevertheless, and that goes for multiple companies. That not just go for WWE. AEW's got a lot of issues. New Japan, they're bringing Riddle in, because apparently they just don't care about keeping any credibility. Nevertheless, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Recklin. I'll see you soon.